Hi, I'm DudeTheNinja and it's pretty cold outside. Let's redesign some Minecraft mobs to fit this time of year. Let's start off with something simple. The creeper is plant-based. Developers have referred to it as being something leafy, something akin to dry leaves in specific. This implies that if creepers are plants, they're probably deciduous. That leaves me with two choices for a winter-themed creeper. Make an evergreen variant, or remove the leaves. Since the latter technically exists in the form of the winter form for Bushranger from Fortnite, I'll settle for a Christmas tree creeper, or a Christmas treeper, if you will. I imagine it'd look a little like the evergreen sapling from Terraria, probably influenced by the fact that it looks like it has a little creeper face on it. I'll start with the texture. I'm using a 64 by 64 texture rather than a 64 by 32, so that I can have a couple more body parts and give the model more detail than the default size will permit. I'm going to give the body a spruce log base, which I will build upon with spruce leaf textures, much like the original creeper texture using oak leaves atop a static noise base. I'm going to give him a sort of dress shape, with a wider base hiding the little legs. This way I can also make snow settle on top of each layer to give it even more of that wintry feel. Plus, I'll add a little star for the top. I have to try hard to make it look like a star in such a little space, because I don't want it to look like something else. Once the texture's done, I can get to modelling. As this is a creeper, I can just use the creeper model as a base and add stuff onto it. I make tweaks to the texture as I go, to make it fit the model's dimensions better. I cheated a bit with one of the layers, as I used the same texture region as the widest layer, leaving some texture overlap, but because it's obscured by a bigger layer, I don't really care. Apart from that, it's a real quick job. After some texture tweaks while previewing the model in-game, he's ready for action. I think the creeper blends quite well with the target environments, so not only does he make a cute companion, I have accidentally made a terrifying mob variant to deal with if you're a diehard spruce fan. So, sorry for possibly inducing some sort of paranoia to you. Next up, I'm going to make something that was suggested by Ember Nova on Twitter, which is a Hanukkah themed blaze in the form of a menorah. My initial idea was to have the blaze rods be inside the candle holders and make them directly attached to a pole in the middle, kinda like the menorah was spinning round. However, the blaze rods always face the same direction, so as a result, I will use a flat plane with a ring texture to represent each branch of candle holders. Once I figured out how to do that, it's a matter of just replacing each rod with a candle holder. I decided to record the modelling and texturing at the same time because the workflow fit better for the modification of this mob, as I didn't need to use a larger texture resolution and mostly use the same texture mapping as the original. After some discussion with Ember regarding the accuracy of the design to an actual menorah to properly do the idea justice, I'm done. Here it is in game. I turned off particles for this preview so you can see the design a bit better, because the blaze emits smoke like there's no tomorrow, and while it fits the vanilla blaze design and isn't so much of a big deal in standard gameplay, it's a real pain when trying to show off texture and model changes. For the final model, I'm going to do an Enderman. I wasn't too sure what to make the Enderman, apart from a central theme being winter sweets. Think peppermint, candy canes and gingerbread. So I just made whatever could come to mind. I was making this one up as I went along with no real ideas apart from main theme and that I wanted to make him a tiny gingerbread man using stilts. I ended up making just that. Once again, it's a mix of modelling and texturing in parallel instead of separately. There wasn't much tweaking after first checking in game, which is good because it means I made something that had minimal errors on the first try, which is pretty impressive. So here he is in game. When holding blocks, the giant candy canes don't actually make contact with the block, but it's not very noticeable unless you look close when you're in a state where looking close doesn't aggravate him. I originally gave him a glow texture, making the little bits of icing glow, but then I decided against it as it didn't really fit. And here are all 3 mobs together. If you want this resource pack, I'll leave a download link in the description via Planet Minecraft. You need to install Optifine or a similar mod that allows for custom entity models in the same method, otherwise you won't see any changes. Hopefully this video was entertaining or interesting enough for you to watch all the way to the end, so if you're here, maybe consider liking or subscribing to give me that sweet, sweet dopamine rush, seeing numbers go up. Or perhaps you're feeling extra generous this winter season, I want to throw something my way, in which case I have donation and Patreon links in the description. Every little bit helps. I have nothing else really to say, so thank you for watching, goodbye.
I see you over there, Ninja. Fortnite.